welcome to another video of Quality Reptiles. Today I'm gonna talk about all my favorite animals. Here behind me is Sora. She's one of my favorite animals. She's born in 2016 with me in a breeding facility, and from the day she was born, she's always been one of my favorite. She wasn't afraid at all when she hatched, and it never changed. She's a really good pet. At this moment, she's full of eggs. She has been breeding the last 1.5 weeks, and it got a little bit too much for her, so I separated her from the male. So in some weeks she will lay probably some beautiful eggs for me. She's not the biggest black dragon. She's only 120. So that's not really big. The locality that she is also isn't a big locality. They are one of the smallest types there are in water monitors. So it's not the typical black dragon that you see mostly in America. Those are often bred with bifitatus, who are very big, and these are from Thailand, Malaysia, and they are a lot smaller than the typical black dragon that you see on videos on YouTube from America. Oh, that's my neck. Oh, she has very sharp claws. She does not intend to hurt me, but she sometimes does, not on purpose. I also got some scars from all the love that I get from my monitor lizards. So let's take a look at some other animals that I really love, or one of my favorite animals here. I have a lot of favorite animals, but I will show you a selection of the best that I have. So this is Devil, and he is the original purple devil line. I call it purple devil line because he is a red tegu with a very purplish skin, and I selective breed with this line. It's one of my most popular breeding lines that I have. Almost everyone that wants to buy a tegu from me always wants a purple devil line because they look so nice and they are not extremely expensive. So even though I put a lot more work in these lines than you would think from an albino or an Annery or anything, they are less expensive than another color. But I put a lot more time in this, and yeah, people appreciate it, and they always want to buy their babies. So. Next to that, he is also extremely friendly, so I often take him to schools where children want to cuddle with him. He is very energetic, that's the only problem, so he always wants to move. But often when I go to a school, he is transported in a box, and then he's much more relaxed because he's a little bit colder than normal. Now I just took him out of his enclosure when he was under his basking spot, so he's much more energetic at this moment. He also has a very cute son. His name is Bear, and Bear is a lot bigger than him. and he's also very friendly, but a little bit more relaxed. And also him, I take a lot of times to children's parties or to schools to educate people, because he is so easy to work with and so extremely friendly. But he's a lot bigger, so very heavy. So if I have to hold him like this, like I hold Devil now, I have a lot of muscle pain the next day because he's so extremely heavy. He's 1.5 meters long, and Devil is only 120, 130 or something. So yeah, Bear is a lot bigger. So this is Devil, and let's go to the next animal. So this is Candy. Candy is a little bit less friendly, but I'm really happy to have her. She's an albino red tegu, and she's one of the first albino red tegus bred in America. And I had the luck that I could buy one of the first. I was also I was the first that imported an albino red tegu to Europe, and yeah, she is beautiful. She's a very beautiful animal, but I always have to be a little bit careful with my fingers because she's not the most friendly tegu that I have. I can still handle her very easily, but when I have to take her out of the enclosure, she sometimes tries to bite me. But once she's out, it's a lot more easy to handle her. Here, have a little bit more close-up look at her. So let's go to the next animal. So this is Beastie, and she is one of my favorite black and white tegus because she is super friendly, but also extremely big. She also is very special because she has some very small bumps at her cloaca. What normally means that she's a male, but I know for sure that she's a female because she has ovulated a lot of times, and I've seen it on the ultrasound, so we know she is making eggs. What means that she must be a female, she cannot be a boy. And I also had her with males, and they react on her like she is a female. So yeah, I'm pretty sure she's a female. She's one of my biggest females that I ever had. She's 1 meter and 40 centimeters, so that's really big for a female. And her parents are Monster and Willy. And Monster is the first tegu that I ever bought in my life. Sadly, she has passed away in 2019 because of a failure of my hibernation room. From all the animals that could have died, it was her that died. The others all survived. So it was also a lot of bad luck. It was also the first time in my life that I lost a tegu in hibernation. I've never lost tegus in hibernation before, so that was the first time. That also caused that for me that I am very, I was very afraid the years after to hibernate my animals. While it never happened before with me. So, and I also knew why she had died, because of the problems with my hibernation room, and all was solved, but still it leaves a scar with you. Yeah, his or her father died very recently, but he was also very old. He was already 20 years old, maybe even older, but I know for sure that he's at least 20 years old because I know him already that long. So yeah, he was old, and it was okay for him to die at the moment. But they're both one of my favorites and one of my first tegus that I ever had. Yeah, and this is their little baby. So this is a little bit a replacement, not fully a replacement, but a little bit a replacement or a reminder of who they were. And luckily she's still very young, so I will have a lot of years to love her. So let's go to the next animal. This is Borat, and Borat is one of my favorite blue tegus. He is also one of my oldest blue tegus. He is wild caught from 2011, and yeah, he was friendly from the day that I got him, and always stayed friendly. He's also very friendly to the girls, and sadly he had a lot of bad luck in his life. First of all, he had food poisoning many years ago, so that damaged his kidneys. So he has very bad kidneys for many years already. Also he was one of the first blue tegus that produced melanistic blue tegus. Sadly, also the baby had food poisoning and it died. Borat survived. The mother did not survive, sadly, and but he was in this way lucky that he was one of the only ones that survived the food poisoning. I bought other brand of meat that I normally buy for them because someone told me it was as good as the old brand, but it was a lot cheaper. And I was like, yeah, if it's the same quality, why not try it? So I tried it, and I lost a lot of my tegus. But he's a reminder of this because he was one of the few survivors. Some years later, I went on a short holiday for the weekend, and someone else was taking care of him, and this person just went away and didn't take care of him. And when I came back, I found him in the corner of his enclosure, and the female that he was with had bitten him in his paw, and it was infected. So straight away I went to the vet, and this was an emergency vet who didn't know much about reptiles. So yeah, this went completely wrong. They did a injection in his paw, and he got paralyzed, so he couldn't walk anymore. Then the next day I went to a good vet, and he said the paw was so much damaged and infected, it was already dying, the paw. So he said I could better put him down. So I told him, what if we remove the paw? Would he survive? And he said, yeah, there's a very, very big chance that he can survive without a paw. So we went into surgery straight away. He did not have enough people to do the surgery, so I helped him with the surgery. And this is the result. He has one paw less, but you can see he does fine without it. He is a very happy tegus still, and he still wants to walk around, and he still breeds with his females. So I also hope that in the future I can produce some melanistic blue tegus again. So yeah. And please don't message me about the melanistic blue tegus and that you are interested, because I'm not sure if they even sell them, if I ever breed them, and if I sell them, you will see on my Facebook or on YouTube or whatever. But as long as he is not producing yet, I will not talk about prices or anything. And I don't even know if he will ever breed again, because he's already a little bit old, not super old, but he also has the kidney failure, so I'm not sure if he can still breed. So let's hope that he can, and I will produce some black tegus in the future, but if not, then it was not meant to be. So let's go to the next animal. So this is Hugo, and yeah, he is my favorite caiman lizards. I only have 2 caiman lizards, but he is also one of my favorite reptiles. He's so extremely tame, and I got him when he was at least 5 years old. He was full grown, and so with this way I know that he must be around 17 years old at least. He's so old that also his he gets health problems. I noticed that he was eating a lot, but does not get any weight on his body. So he's less muscular, and he has less fat on his body, and it's really hard to keep a little bit of fat on his body. So I feed him an extreme amount of food every week, but yeah, he stays very skinny. So I went to the vet and he did some blood work, and we found out that his liver is not working that good anymore. So my vet told me if he is having a lot of problems with it, so when he's getting too skinny, or doesn't want to eat anymore, or doesn't want to do anything anymore, and it looks like he's suffering, then I can put him down. But for now, he's still very happy. He's still breeding with his female. So as long as he's doing everything that he loves, then I will keep fighting for him and give him a lot of food so he stays alive. And yeah, as long as I still have him, I will not buy a new male for breeding. I don't think that he's able to breed anymore now. He's so old, so he's more like a pet than a really breeding animal in my facility. But I would never sell him or anything. I cannot lose him. He's really my baby. So he will stay till he is done with life. Because he is so friendly, I also take him to school sometimes, and he's absolutely okay with everyone touching him. He's super relaxed, super friendly. So he's also a very good animal for educating people. And I also always tell the story about how old he is, and that he came from a farm where they make bags and shoes from his skin, and that he was one of the lucky ones that came to the pet trade, and he was lucky enough that I bought him, and I think that I give him a good life. So I think he's a very lucky lizard, that he's not a pair of shoes or a handbag. So that's what I always tell the children, and they love the story. So let's go to the next animal. So this is Ivor. Ivor is a croc monitor, and I think they are the most amazing monitors. From the day that I first saw a croc monitor, I fell in love straight away. Ivor is also a very tame croc monitor, what makes it even more amazing. I love it. Yeah, I love it. Beautiful boy. Yeah, such a beautiful boy. Yeah. So thank you for watching this video. Please leave a message in the comments, and please like and subscribe, and see you next time in the next video.